Good morning. Alrighty. Bright and early on a Monday morning here in Australia. It's been a busy weekend. I'm going to tell you about that while I share to my group and also while I wait for Facebook to round up the troops. So normally on a weekend, I usually use the weekends to recharge, and we don't always do a lot. And this weekend, Saturday morning, Dave took me to the rifle range, which was pretty cool because I love target shooting, so I got to do that. And then in the afternoon, a girlfriend of mine came around and she stayed the night, so we had a really cool evening together, which was really cool. And then the next day we went for about a 10-kilometre walk in the sunshine, which was amazing. We went out to breakfast and all that sort of stuff. And then my kids came in the afternoon and took me out for like a late lunch, early dinner. So it was a really busy weekend, which is really cool. And the weather here in Melbourne has been divine. It's been in the 20s, so amazing, huh? All right, if you are new to my world, my name is Michelle Hext from michellehext.com, and I'm a coach. I've been a coach since the 90s. I've been coaching coaches in most of that time, and what I am ultimately is a coaching business strategist. So I specialize in helping coaches find their sweet spot and then package it up in a way that their dream clients adore, and then I teach them how to sell it. And it's the thing that I love to do most in the world. But today's topic is about, inspired action versus being busy and busy work. And the reason that I want to talk about that today is, especially in Australia, we've got a brand new week in front of us. If you're on the other side of the world, you'll wake up tomorrow and you'll have a new week. So you've got plenty of time to absorb the information. But over the years of working with coaches, I know that coaches are very hard working, right? We love to work hard, and we're all about the hustle, and we know we need to work hard to grow our businesses. But a lot of the time the work is not focused, and you end up exhausted and actually not really getting anywhere. And sometimes we fall into the trap of doing work that we feel like we're supposed to do, or that other people are doing because it seems like the right thing to do, but we're actually not really clear about what it is that we need to do in our own businesses to really achieve the result that we specifically want. Hey Annalise, how are you? Good to see you on the call. So today I really want to talk to you about the difference between just being busy and aligned action, because aligned action is where it's at. I actually don't work a lot of hours in my coaching business, not very many hours at all, but the work that I do is very, very focused, and it's all about achieving a specific result. And so I want to show you how to do that. All right, so the first thing that I want to, hey Brett, how are you? The first thing that I want to talk about is we need to come from a place of alignment first, and then we hustle second. And what I mean by that is we first need to ask ourselves the question, I'm glancing down at my notes, what do we really want? What is it that we really truly want for our coaching business, and beyond that for our life? Because for me, I always work backwards. It's like, what is the lifestyle that I want to lead? What is the life that I want to live? What are the big juicy goals that I'm chasing in my life that aren't necessarily to do with business? And then knowing that I have the capacity to take my business in any direction that I want, what do I need to do within my business to be able to achieve that? So my why is always good to hear. I know you had a busy weekend. I've got a session with Paul tomorrow, so I'm going to hear all about it tomorrow, but I'm sure it was amazing. So what we want to do is make sure that we are doing the work, the specific work. It doesn't need to be a lot of work, but we're doing the specific work that we need to do in our business to achieve our specific result. And the first thing is that we need to align first, and then we need to hustle. And as I said, what we need to do first is ask ourselves, what do we really want? And I'm going to encourage you to do what I do, which is don't just think about your business, think about your life and how your business fits into that life. Because I can remember years ago coaching a woman who one of her greatest values was freedom and adventure and things like that. But she was focused on growing her bricks and mortar business, which was going to keep her stuck. And so she came to see really quickly that her bigger goals for her life compared to her business goals, they just weren't in sync. And so we went on to create an online model for her to be able to work in and scale, which meant that she could travel the world at the same time. So sometimes we're so close to our things that we don't really see them, and sometimes it just one and one doesn't make two in our thinking. And so I want you to make sure that you ask yourself the question first, and you need to ask yourself this every single day. I spend half an hour every morning journaling, getting into that place of alignment, working out what I want, reinforcing my goals, all of those different things, spending some time visualizing, so that I know that the work that I go out and do that day is in direct relation to the goals that I specifically want to achieve. So yeah, ask yourself, what do you really want? And not just in your business, start with your life and then work out, okay, does my business actually fit within this? Is my business in its current form the vehicle that's going to take me where I want to be? Because ultimately, if you are chasing a goal that's at odds with the life that you want to live, you're just going to be in this battle of push-pull the whole time through. And so it's really that simple. What do you really, really want? And then think about the action that you want to take that's going to help get you there. But honestly, when you work out what it is that you really, really, really want, you don't do any activity that's going to not contribute to that. And so that's where the busy work comes in. Get clear about what are the activities that you specifically want to take today that feel good to you and from a place of alignment. So sometimes when I'm working with coaches and I'm challenging them to do things that they find really difficult and challenging, it's all about the mindset work first for me. And I'm always encouraging them to get into that place of alignment first, feel really connected to the goal, see the outcome, get into that place first, and then go and take that action. Because trying to take forced action from a place of not being in alignment, from a place of not really feeling inspired, is just hard work. And we don't want to be in that place. Our business is, it's business. It's not a cakewalk. So we're always going to have times that challenge us. That's just part of the deal. If you're living in this world where you feel like, growing your business to whatever you want it to be is just going to be, a straight road and it's going to be easy, you're kidding yourself. We're all challenged at different times. But we need to make sure that we know what we're working towards, and we're looking at the bigger picture, because we inevitably are going to have those ups and downs on the way. But if you continue to look far ahead, you know exactly what it is that you are trying to achieve here, and your activities are based on that, then you're always going to be able to ride those waves of up and down, because it's always really on your short term. It feels like life or death, especially if you're in the early days of building your business. You have a client that says yes and you're counting on them, and then they say no at the last minute. It feels like life and death, I get it, but it's actually not, and usually there's a reason that client is not for you. So it ends up being a good thing. We usually can't see it at the time, but remember, the challenges that we have are always short term. So the way that we can ride those inevitable ups and downs is where we're really clear about the big picture, and we know that in the grand scheme of things, that knockback, that program that didn't launch the way you wanted it to is always going to be just a blip, because you've got something bigger. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, as I say, ask you, what do you really want? Be clear about that. Look at your business in its current model and say, is my business the way that it is right now going to get me where I want to be? And if not, it's time to start making changes now, so that when you are working in your business, you know it's to achieve something. Nobody likes to, sit down at their desk for hours a day and not actually know that they're going to achieve a result, right? So we want to really make sure that we know what we're doing. There's never any guaranteed results. So I can't say to you, okay, so if you want to achieve this thing, these are the 3 things you need to do today, and these are the 3 things you need to do tomorrow, and you're going to have success, guaranteed, because we know it doesn't work like that. But we want to give ourselves the very best chance. And when we start to take action in that aligned way, in that purposeful way, in a way that really lines up with our bigger why, then we build the sort of momentum that we know gives us the result that we want. If you've ever been in that place of flow, give me a yes if you've been in that place of flow where you just feel like you've been working away for a little while and then suddenly it feels easy and the path opens up and suddenly you just know what to do. It's kind of effortless. That's when you're in your zone, and that's where you want to be. There are times when we step out of that. We've just got to discipline ourselves to get back into that place of flow, into that, to get back into our zone, because that's where the magic happens every time. And if we're taking consistent action that isn't lined up with our bigger vision and our bigger goals, we will not get into that place of flow. We won't get into our zone because we can't. We just physically can't do it because it's not lined up. And as human beings and as coaches, and especially as coaches, because we're very insightful, we're very intuitive, we know ourselves very well most of the time. And so if something's at odds, we're going to feel it, we know. And so there is going to be that resistance there. And the resistance, thanks Brett, and the resistance is a sign that something's not lining up somewhere, and it's a matter of just going through it and asking yourself, okay, so what doesn't feel right here? And just do a bit of an audit, just go through the different things that you've got lined up for the day and just do an energy check around, I'm not going to get too woo-woo, but just check in and go, how does it feel if I do that? Is it in alignment with my bigger thing? Yep, that's cool. Go through the list, or go through your current project, whatever that is, and just really make sure that you're in full alignment with it. It's lined up with your bigger values. It's lined up with the goals that you want to achieve for your business. It's lined up with the life that you want to live. And if it ticks all of those boxes and you're still not sure, check in and ask, is there fear here? Is this about me worrying about, not achieving what I want to achieve? Is it me worrying about failing in some way? And if that is, get used to that. That's just part of the deal. And you just got to do whatever mindset work you need to do to get on the other side of that so you can get back in the zone. So really your number one job always before you take any action is to get into the zone. So whether that's journaling, whether that's watching some sort of video that inspires you, hopefully today's done this. But what I'm going to do when I jump off is I'm going to put those questions in. So so the flow for me is alignment first, hustle second. That's it. It's, write that down. I'm going to put it in the comments so that you've got it there, but align first, hustle second. And then the way you align is ask yourself, what do you really want? And then what do you really, really want? And then is all of the things that you are getting yourself ready to do for this week, are they in alignment with that? Because anything that isn't, just get rid of it. Stop doing it. A lot of the time we find ourselves, especially in the early days, doing things that we feel like we need to do because other people are doing them and they're succeeding, and we kind of feel like, oh, if they're doing that, I need to do that too. And sometimes we just don't. I have coaches that I work with who hate being on video. They hate doing live streams. And I'm not going to force them to do that, even though live streaming works beautifully. It built my business to a whole other level after years of plugging away. And so, but there are some coaches who just can't do it. So they'll pre-record videos or they'll write blogs or whatever. So don't do what you feel like everybody else is doing and you have to do that. Find your zone. Find what lights you up. Find, how to best express your unique voice. Because as a coach, your business is really hinging on you. Especially in those early days, you can scale and all that sort of stuff, and you can create digital programs and everything else. But especially in the early days, or when you're finding your feet, what you want to do is you want to dominate your industry. And the way you do that is you become famous in your industry. You become famous for the thing that you are very, very good at. And then you're able to build a reputation around that stuff. So it really is, your business is relying on you to really step up and lead from the front and be the authority, be the expert. And if you aren't in a place of 100% confidence around that, it's going to be hard to do that. So that's where the alignment thing is so important. So as you're going through, checking in with yourself, maybe there's an area of your business that doesn't feel aligned. If you don't feel like you want to get out there, either whether it's written word or live streaming or podcasting or whatever it is, if you aren't itching to get out there every day and share your message and feel really confident about it and know that you are an authority, you know your shit, then there's something missing. And you need to go and work out what that is. Because as I say, my job is to help coaches find their sweet spot. so that they can talk about it all day, because it feels natural for them to talk about it. It feels easy for them to talk about it. Their knowledge is a bottomless pit, and that's where you want to be, because when you know your industry and the work that you do inside out, you can't help but be good at it. And a lot of times coaches feel like it's got to be more complicated than it actually is. They feel like the thing that they want to teach or coach around isn't complex enough, or it's so basic and so easy that they don't know that anyone would pay money for it. I feel the same way about my work. You know, I think it's pretty easy for coaches to work out what they're really good at and package it up and price it in a way that, you know, their market says yes to, and they can map out a way to be able to get a result for their client. I just think that's a natural thing, but it's not. You know, a lot of amazing coaches come to me and they don't see their value. They're trying to overcomplicate things. They're making things so much harder than they need to be. And when I strip things back and create this beautiful package for them and help them map out their client success path, because that's the thing, coaches need to know that they can get a result for their clients. If they don't, their confidence is in the toilet and they'll never get anywhere. So it's like, we need to make sure that that coach knows that they can get that result for their client. And then we build this beautiful package, we price it right, and then I make them fall in love with the thing that they're selling. And then they really are able to step up. Thank you for the love. They're really able to step up because they're able to see, wow, I really am good at this thing. And when they see it in a sales page, for example, they're then able to really be, oh yeah, this really is different. This really is something special. Whereas when it's in your head, it sounds familiar. When it's in your head, it's confusing. You know, we need things to be clearly laid out so that we understand. And so if you're not really clear about what you're great at, what your sweet spot is, and how to package that up in a way that your potential clients can just read it and go, oh yeah, that makes sense, that's exactly what I need, then there's a lot of work for you to do. And that's my area of expertise, that's what I do. You don't have to be good at that. You just have to be good at the type of coaching that you do, you know, and then you need to hire someone like me to help you to get really clear about it, make sure that it's really appealing and super clear. As I say, the ultimate aim for you is to be able to have a coaching package or a program that your dream clients look at and go, oh yeah, that makes total sense, and yes, I need that. That's the ultimate aim. It's not about bells and whistles. It's not about tricks. It's not about dodgy fucking marketing. It's about just being real about what you do, being good at what you do, loving what you do, and then having a process behind it so that the people that you draw into your world are going to get a result. You know, you need to make sure that you're getting your clients results. Not everybody's going to get a result because not everybody does the work. But so long as you know that if your clients follow the path that you set out for them, they will get a result. That's all you can ask for. Anyway, if you've got any questions or comments or anything like that while I wrap up, please feel free to post away. And I'm going to wrap up by just reminding you that alignment comes first, hustle comes second. And the way to get into that place of alignment, or that way to get into the zone, is ask yourself, what do you really want? Look at your big picture. Look at what that is. Have different ways to remind you of what that big picture is. I've always got, whenever I achieve a goal, I always create a new screensaver, and it's on everything. It's on my desktop, it's on my laptop. I print out a version so that it's somewhere. I always want to be reminded of what's the next thing that I'm aiming for. So alignment first, hustle second. Get there by asking, what do you really want? Make sure that everything matches up so that so that you're not just doing work for the sake of working. And if you can do all of those things, it doesn't need to take a long time. It's just checking in, and then it's okay. And then if you know, okay, so this is the big goal. Yep, everything feels aligned. What do I need to do today to get me that result? And then just go to work and do that stuff. And don't freak out if it's like, well, today I feel like I just need to do one live stream and send out an email. That's enough. That's all you need to do. You don't need to go and do a million other things because other people are doing a million other things. There is always more work to be done if you want it, but just make sure that it's aligned, you know, and don't feel like the harder you work and the more energy you put in, the bigger the result is going to be, because there is a point of diminishing returns where we just do too much and we burn out, and then we find it hard to come back tomorrow to do the same thing. So you don't want to be there. You just want it to, the activity that you're taking, the actions that you're taking, you want to feel excited and inspired to do them. And when that's done, you're done, So be confident that you've done enough, but do it every day. It's about consistency. It's not about, it's that classic saying about you don't get fit by going out and running 10 kilometers one day. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's running every day and building up to that, or every second day, or whatever it is. People don't run a marathon. They don't go out and just run a marathon and then that's it. It's about all the steps that lead up to it. It's about consistent training so that they can get to the start line. So it's about consistency. It's not about one big activity or action or day that's going to just break your business apart in a good way or blow it up. It's about the consistent activity that you take day in, day out. Do that and you will be golden. All right, I've got to go. I've got lots to do today. Have an amazing day, and I'm going to be back tomorrow. I've got Muay Thai at this time tomorrow morning, but I'm going to try and get in the early mornings before I head off to the gym and get my day up and running. But hopefully I will see you more. And let me know if there is anything that you want me to be chatting about, anything specific that you want me to help you with via live stream, let me know and I will tackle that too. All right, have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. Bye.